Today I'm going to be showing you how to make Battenburg. I know a lot of people have said they're worried, but there's no need to be. It's easy, simple, and I'm going to show you how. The first thing you're going to need is the tin. Nowadays they come ready-made and they're fantastic. They just take the work out of the cutting and assembly. You can get these from Silverwood. They make an amazing one, and there are lots more other companies that make them too. Let's start by preparing our tin. I'm using a spray grease and I'm going to spray it generously in each of the compartments of the tin. And then I flour each compartment, tapping it around and tipping out any of the excess. Now we're going to start our cake mixture. Make sure your butter is really soft, even if you put it in the microwave for a few seconds to make sure it's pliable. You're going to add in the sugar. Put it on a medium speed to high, somewhere around 5 to 6. And we're going to cream that until it's light and fluffy. Now that it's beautiful, it's pale, it's super fluffy, we can start to add the eggs. But first I'm going to scrape down the mix to the bottom of the bowl. Now we're going to add the eggs in, beating well between each addition. Make sure your eggs are at room temperature, as you're going to get a better volume from them. I'm going to scrape down that bowl again. We're almost ready to put the flour in, but before we do, let's make sure it's sieved. And I'm going to sieve onto a sheet of paper because it's much easier to transfer that into the bowl. Put your mixer speed on low, perhaps 1 or 2, and add in the flour slowly. Don't lose your volume when you're folding in. Don't overwork it, just nice and lightly bring it around till it's all incorporated. First, we're going to start by dividing it. It's really important that it's equal. So I'm going to measure the mix into 2 bowls. And I use a kitchen scale to make sure the bowls of sponge mixture are equal. Today I'm using Dr. Oetker colouring because it's bake stable and it gives amazing colours. They come in these little tubes and you're going to need to add about a tablespoon. I'm using 2 colours for my sponge, pink and yellow. Don't lose your volume when you're folding in. Don't overwork it, just be nice and bring it together lightly until it's all incorporated. Now we're going to fill our tin. It will be much easier if you're using a piping bag, just like I'm doing here. We're going to bake at 160 degrees centigrade in a fan oven for about 45 minutes, but check it after 30. It should spring back and a skewer should come out nice and clean. So now our Battenburg is cold, and it's really important that it is cold. So leave it overnight if you can. If you can't, give it a good few hours, say at least 4, so the sponge is nice and firm. We're going to lift out the dividers. These should come out nice and evenly. If you find they're sticking, then just take a palette knife or a small knife and run it down either side to loosen it, and then you can lift it out. You do the same around the edges, and then you're going to lift them out. So next you're going to trim them up so they're nice and even. For this you're going to need a saw or a serrated knife, and you're going to start by taking the top off. Watch your fingers, keep them flat. Just saw off the top. And you're going to take the skin off the bottom as well, and a little bit off the sides. This is just where it bakes in the oven. Just remove that. Do the same for all 4 pieces. What's important is that they're all the same height. So once you've given them a good trim, go over one more time. Just make sure they're all level and even. You're then going to separate them out into yellow and pink, yellow and pink. Start by sandwiching them together in the middle
So I'm going to take some apricot jam, work it till it's soft. I'm using a little baby spatula and spread that on to the middle. And then push them together. Do the same on the other one. Push them together. And you're going to take some mud and spread it over the top. Don't worry if it goes over the sides, that's just fine. And then you're going to put them one on top of the other. So make sure that you've got them the right way around. So you need yellow, pink, pink, yellow. One on top of the other and press down. And you jam off the sides. And then you're going to take your saw knife and you're just going to trim those ends off. So you've got nice, even squares showing at each end.
There, isn't that easy? The next part of the Battenburg is the marzipan, and it's my favourite bit. I could just eat the marzipan. I'm using fabulous marzipan from Dr. Oetker and the same gel colours from Dr. Oetker. The easiest way to do this is to take a piece of marzipan, make a small well and put your colour in. Fold it over and massage it through. Just work it through until you get the colour you want. Add a little bit of icing sugar and some more colour. Your sponge can be any colour you like. You can have 4 colours of sponge and 4 different colours of marzipan. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to be doing 3 colours: dark pink, light pink and yellow, just to be a little different. So once you've got your colour through, that's it. Anytime it's sticking, add a little bit of icing sugar and there you have it. So I've got my 2 main colours of marzipan, pink and yellow, in roughly the same amounts. They're each in the oblong. Press the 2 blocks together. Put a little bit of icing sugar on top and plenty on the bottom, as you don't want it to stick. And we're going to roll it out. The marzipan needs to be rolled to about 1/2 centimetre in thickness, wide enough to accommodate your cake and long enough to go completely around the cake. So, check your width. And now you've got a bit of length. Take your Battenburg and make sure it's long enough. I'm going to put my 3rd colour, a lighter pink, down the middle and roll it into the marzipan. Now you're going to trim the marzipan up. Turn the marzipan over so the pale pink strip is on the outside of the cake. Spread the marzipan with jam. This is the glue that's going to hold the marzipan on the cake, so don't be shy. Sit your Battenburg on the marzipan nearest to you and roll her up. Trim off any excess and trim either end. Isn't that beautiful? Take some crimpers, dip them in a little bit of icing sugar and crimp the edges. If you haven't got a crimper, you can just leave it as it is. Dip the crimpers in a little bit of the sugar and then just what I'd like to do now, just to tidy it up, is to trim the edges, just for presentation. If you're eating it straight away, no need. Let's pop it onto the presentation plate before finishing the decoration. I'm going to finish mine now with some ready-made edible flowers, sticking them on with a little bit of ready-made icing. You need to position these wherever you like along the top to make it look pretty.
I've got some lovely Dr. Oetker ones. I'm going to fill the centre with a little icing. Pop those on as well.
That's a Battenburg you'll be proud to serve to anyone. I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to see more videos from me, click here.